Alrighty guys, I'm Morthadon and we are back for Reincarnated as a Slime, episode 17. So, just so you guys know, I feel like I'm saying this in a lot of my videos recently, and I'm sorry about that. I'm a bit tired. My weird sleep schedule, once again, is affecting another one of my reactions, but I should be fine. I think I'm feeling okay, and I made some coffee here that I will be sipping on throughout the episode, so that's that. Last episode, we were introduced to Milim. I can't remember her last name, but she is a demon lord. And after editing the episode, it seems like she's one of the strongest demon lords, which is interesting. 10x stronger than Rim, which is spooky. I had a lot of questions about that in the last episode regarding, like, who would actually win in a one-on-one fight. It seems like Milim would at this point, which is interesting since we haven't seen Rim lose a battle yet, but I don't know. It's very interesting having a character come into play that is potentially stronger than the character that's been OP this whole time, so I find that fascinating and a little scary. But that being said, I'm really looking forward to seeing what is going on this episode because they seem to have tamed her, but now she is kind of in charge of the... It almost seems like she's in charge of Rim's town now. She is kind of the one looking over it. It's basically her territory now, essentially, and that's very worrisome as well. I'm wondering if she isn't as, like, stupid as she seems, you know? I wonder if she's basically just, playing at being dumb and knows exactly what she's doing, and we're gonna see, like, a twist in her personality at some point. I don't know. But that is just some of the things I've been thinking about, and... yeah, let's get into episode 17, shall we, guys? Alrighty, so, like usual, guys, there's a link in the description that will bring you right to the reaction, and then right after that, you can come back to this YouTube video for the discussion portion. So go ahead and click that link in the description right now, guys. Alrighty, guys, so that is the end of episode 17. That was a good episode. I feel like I have a lot to talk about. But where do I start? So much happened. Like, they just plowed through content. So I guess starting with the beginning, we had the humans in that one town, I suppose, because now we have, like, multiple, like, maybe continents or countries or whatnot. I can't remember the exact term they used in the show. But we have multiple of these countries investigating the Great Forest of Jura, it seems, because they had the Orc Lord situation, and then it seemed to be resolved, and some of them knew it was resolved, I think, and then some of them didn't. Some of them were investigating the people that defeated it, and some of them were going to defeat the Orc Lord itself, I think. So, we started off with the humans that we knew. We've been seeing them since the beginning, and they were talking about Rim's group. I'm pretty sure they, from what I remember reading, is, they knew the Orc Lord was defeated, and I think they knew about the slime, they knew about Rim, because of the adventurers coming back and delivering the message about everything that happened. And I don't know if they put two and two together. I think I missed some lines while I was talking to know whether they, like, knew for sure that Rim was the one that defeated the Orc Lord. But, regardless of that, they still decided they were gonna go and see the slime for themselves. The guild leader, I'm guessing, is who that guy is. And he decided to go, like I said, and, on their way, they ran into the other group who were gonna help them deal with the situation with, like, the giant spider thing, and then Gobta just shows up and annihilates it, showing their power right off the bat, which kind of, like, I feel like it set a good precedent for the humans. Oh, like, okay, these guys are strong. Let's, like, be cool, you know? I don't know if they would have gone in with more of an arrogant behavior. Like, the one silver-haired guy, kind of... I think his name was, like, Theom or something like that. He had a little bit of an aggressive personality at the start, just because when Shion gave him sass, he just called her like big tits or whatever, and acted all like high and mighty, you know. But in the end, he kind of like mellowed out and whatnot. But a lot of doubt for Rim this episode, and usually when it's kind of cool because something they do in this show that they don't usually do in other, or I guess something they don't do in this show that they usually do in other shows is a better way to word that, is when someone doubts the power of someone else, usually a main character, that character will demonstrate their power. And that's something they don't do a lot in here, which I do respect that, is, you know, Rim's just like, everyone's like, well, you're just a slime. And Rim just keeps on talking about whatever he was talking about before and just completely ignores the fact that they insulted him by calling him a lowly slime, you know? I mean, because the most part is he knows that he is just a slime. Like, he can't help it, that's his form, but he isn't weak. You know, and just the concept of a strong slime is just so out of the norm for these people. And Rim doesn't use fear to get them on his side. He uses what he's built and what he stands for to get them on his side, which I really respect that. It's really cool. So, just to finish up all the human stuff, I suppose, they're making Theon, or Theon, whatever his name is, I'm probably getting that wrong, as in a way, a scapegoat, but a scapegoat usually has a bad connotation to it, so they're basically making him out. I mean, I guess that's using the exact words they used, but they're making him out to be, you know, the champion, the one that defeated the Orc Lord, because that would make it, you know, less scary, because, you know, you hear this mysterious slime in this forest defeated this Orc Lord. He must be, you know, powerful and scary, but if you hear, like, these humans did it with the help of a monster, now it's just a helpful monster, you know, and not as scary. So Rim was definitely on point with what he did this episode. Once again, he swallowed his pride, doesn't need to be known as the strongest being alive. He's just content with playing his little, you know, simulation game and progressing further in it, you know, which is really cool. All the interactions with Milim were a lot of fun this episode. I guess I didn't really mention it at the start, and I don't know if I mentioned it last episode. I talked about everything that happened, but I didn't really say, like, my opinion on Milim, I felt like. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. I know I put it in the description because I wasn't sure of the last video, but I do really enjoy Milim. She's a lot of fun. I'm worried that she has another personality, like, deep down. You know, like, she's doing all this with a purpose, and she knows exactly what she's doing. Because even she manipulates Rim sometimes. Like, she got away with causing a commotion this episode. Rim said she wasn't going to be allowed to eat, and then she still managed to get her food. So she still managed to do things the way she wanted and really didn't get punished at all. So she is, in a way, manipulating Rim almost more than Rim is manipulating her, but it's a very interesting relationship and a very interesting dynamic that they have going on. And it's also very funny the way they present it, which is a lot of fun for me. I was enjoying it. Like, every interaction between them together was a lot of fun. I also like that she is wearing normal clothes, because it was a little awkward having her in those skimpy outfits or whatever she was wearing before. But yeah. Uh, so I guess that settles the human stuff and the. And I mean, I guess, the result of the whole conversation with Rim and the humans was to further Rim's connections and alliances. They know that Dwargon is supporting them, and now, they stayed and saw what it was like. We even saw, like, the village from Theom's perspective, and which was a very cool moment as well. But so that was a lot of the episode, but then we even had some of the Demon Lord stuff bringing in like a whole nother like story thread going on, where this what seems to be ancient evil that was sealed away is now going to be unsealed theoretically and controlled by the Demon Lords, and now it seems like it's going to become a race to which Demon Lord will control this being. I'm curious if the being is sentient. Does it know what's going on? Can it, like, speak and be reasoned with? Because I imagine a future where Rim reasons with this great ancient evil and just has it join his village. But no, it's gonna be interesting whatever goes on with that story thread. I'm not sure, but they mentioned revive, so I thought it was dead, and it was gonna be something like, in some of these fantasy worlds where like every 300 years this event takes place, kind of thing. But it just seems like it's sealed away, and they're figuring out a way to unseal it now, I suppose. So, and they made it the way. I can't remember the demon lord that we saw at the end of this episode. Shoot, I can't remember what his name is. Darn. But the demon lord we saw at the end there, he made it seem like this ancient evil was like. That's why I'm calling it an ancient evil. Like, it seems ancient, Like, it seems like something that he grew up hearing about, like, rumors of, like, this being was around thousands of years ago. Like, that seemed like his reaction to me was something like that. Like, it was a ghost story he was told as a kid or something. And we don't even know how old the Demon Lords are. They could be, hundreds of years old. We don't know what kind of lifespan some of these creatures have in this world, because Demon Lords seem to be, like, on a whole new level of evolution. Like, they look... A lot of them look sort of human, at least. The Demon Lord we saw this episode had, like, the very spiky ears. So I don't know if that could be, like, an elf or a dark elf kind of thing. I'm not sure. But Milim seems very human-like. I believe some of the other ones we've seen were pretty human-like, but we know other races can become Demon Lords because Geld technically, I think, evolved to a Demon Lord very briefly before Rim defeated him, so it's interesting. Yeah. So I guess... But yeah, my point there is just we don't know how old they could be. There's no reason to underestimate or, assume they go by the standards of, like, aging that we humans do in our world, so... Yeah, really fast, I'm gonna skim through the episode because I think I summed up most of the stuff I want to talk about, but I'm guessing the pacing on this show is just very quick, We just get from one place to another super fast, so I wouldn't be surprised if we had, Oh! Yeah, I just saw something skipping through that I didn't talk about, but I guess my prediction is that in the next episode or two, we could see like some very big movements with the Demon Lords moving into reviving this thing. This I don't know the name of it. It was almost like it almost reminded like the spelling almost reminded me of like Chernobyl, but it wasn't. It was like Kernbis or something. I don't know. I'm butchering that big time, but yeah, my prediction is we're either gonna see it unsealed within the next few episodes, or we're gonna see it like just the real movements of all the demon lords like fighting over this thing, which is gonna be interesting because I was kind of worried it was gonna be all the demon lords against Rim, but now it's like they brought in this extra factor, you know, and that's really cool because now it's not about Demon Lords versus Rim. Our protagonist is gonna win. Now it's just like a vying for power between all the Demon Lords. Rim might get in on it, just because he doesn't want this like evil to be in the hands of the Demon Lords. I'm not sure, or maybe somehow Cromwell will be involved, and that's how Rim will get involved because Cromwell is the one that Rim really wants to go after. But those are just some of the predictions I have. I don't always go into. I feel like I don't go into predictions a lot, and I feel like I need to start doing that a little bit more because I mainly talk about the episode and what I thought about it. I like every little scene, and sometimes that distracts me away from like thinking about what's going to come next. But yeah, one thing I did miss, which I have up on the screen right now, for me, you guys can't see it, but the potion thing, which is very interesting. So very quickly, within a couple episodes, I mean, I don't know how much time has passed in the show's sense, like, since Vesta arrived and started doing his research, but he's discovered the missing 1% that they've never been able to do. I mean, I guess when you have a potion to analyze, that makes it a lot easier to figure out. But now they have, you know, the 99% potions, which is basically the difference between life or death. I wonder what a 100% healing potion could do. Do you think it could revive the dead? I'm always like, whenever they put percents in, but they don't talk about the highest percent, it's always like, makes me wonder. Because they said the difference between 98 and 99 is enormous. I believe they would use the wording the difference between life and death. So I think like a potion at 98%, if you were on the verge of death, it wouldn't save you. But Rim's potion, if you're on the verge of death but you're still barely alive, at 99% would heal you. But if you were actually dead, but only dead for like X amount of time, could a 100% potion bring you back if there is ever going to be such a thing in this show? That's something fascinating to think about. But I love how they bring in like kind of real world economics to this show, because that is so something a big company in our world would do, where they would water down high potions down to medium potions or whatever they were called, and mass produce them and sell them as the common thing. Because if you mass produce 99% potions, that's going to become the norm. You're going to kill the economy, and everybody is just going to rely, like, no one's going to take life as seriously if you can come back from, like, even the most deadly of wounds, as long as you have one of these potions and you don't die before you can take it, then people aren't going to value their own lives as much. So I guess there's even some, like, ethical concerns, I guess I would word it as, when you bring in these 99% potions into play. But that was just very interesting to me. Very, very interesting. And I mean, I guess we had, like, the other, I didn't really talk about it much, but we had the lackeys of another demon lord coming in, and causing a ruckus, hurting Rigurd. He seemed like he didn't look okay, but the way he acted was that he was fine. I wonder if he could have healed from that without a potion. Because, you know, we don't know, like, the kind of regeneration that some of these creatures have. But Milim neutralized the situation before Rigurd got too hurt, and he seemed very angry. The one guy, the one, like, Demon Lord lackey, didn't... He wasn't happy about getting beaten, and he seemed like he wanted revenge, but at the same time, it seemed like he knew that he couldn't win against, like, anybody in that room. I don't know, maybe he could have. Maybe he's stronger than he looks, but he's not stronger than Milim, you know? But yeah, Milim took care of the situation, and he left for now, but I'm sure that will come back to play. At some point, we'll see them again, although they almost seem like a joke now, so I probably won't take them super seriously if we see them again. Although, I'm kind of worried about his Demon Lord coming in and getting revenge for his lackeys. But yeah. I think that covered that part. Moving on a bit. I'm gonna kind of skim through fast because I think we covered a lot of this already. Yeah, the whole human thing. Yeah, I think we covered everything in this episode, so yeah, guys, thanks for watching. It was a very fun episode. I really much enjoyed it. Really much enjoyed it. Very much enjoyed it. But yeah, I guess I will see you in the next one. If you wish to support the channel, you can subscribe, or you can check out the description where there are links to my Patreon is another way you can support the channel, and you can also gain access to the next episode, as well as full-length episodes, if you don't want to see them all cut up and missing parts and stuff like that. And then there's also a link to my anime list in the description, where you can see all the shows I've watched and all the shows I plan to watch, as well as a link to my Twitch stream. And yeah, so thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.